my opinion, only Microsoft could do something like this a few days prior to their big showcase reveal. And, obviously I'm kind of looking at this in a weird situation because Microsoft really has so much going on for themselves. They could really make a push, in my humble opinion, if they actually decided to kind of go for it, if they wanted to kind of do things that would get people excited about the platform. But it seems like every time they have the opportunity to do something to get people excited, something stupid happens like this. And at the end of the day, I feel like Microsoft is going to continue to lose players and things if this stuff keeps happening. Now, I have to say, as somebody who has been an Xbox fan, I've been covering Xbox for over a decade now. That's time flies, trust me. You don't get that time back, but I've been a big Xbox fan since day one, and their big showcase, whether it be E3 or whether they call it the Xbox Bethesda showcase, whatever the case may be, those shows are always something that make me excited. It's like you get that kid at Christmas time feeling. It's really kind of hard to explain if you're not really a big fan like I am of gaming. So you get that feeling like there's most nights before the showcase I don't sleep because you're excited and things like that. But this is the first time that I can remember where I'm not really excited for the showcase, and I feel like that's Microsoft's fault. So if you guys didn't know about this report, this kind of came out that Microsoft is going to consider bringing new Halo games and a remaster or slash remake of Halo Combat Evolved to the PlayStation 5. And it's also said that various Xbox titles are being weighed up for multi-platform release, sort of like what we've heard before, but, again, new report. According to a new report from The Verge, which claims that the project is in the early stages of development at Xbox, it says the game is one of several titles that's being weighed for inclusion in Microsoft's new multi-platform push, which is considered Project Latitude internally. While it's already had a strong foothold on rival platforms thanks to its perennial bestsellers like Call of Duty and Minecraft, which you would think would be enough, right? But no, let's go ahead and put everything everywhere and make the Xbox console completely useless. So anyway, Xbox recently announced plans to bring additional titles to PlayStation and the Nintendo Switch, starting with Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves, and Grounded. But according to The Verge, Hellblade 2, Microsoft Flight Simulator, the new Doom that's going to be announced this week at the Game Showcase, also going to be on the PlayStation 5. According to this, though, a new Gears of War game that's also set to be revealed at the Xbox show, and the previously announced Fables aren't currently being considered for Project Latitude releases, according to this anyway. According to Windows Central sources, though, as of this month, the new Gears of War, Age of Mythology, Retold, Avowed, South of Midnight, Hellblade 2, and Starfield aren't in active development for PlayStation, even if they might be being considered for Sony platforms. So the site was also able to corroborate that the Doom game is coming to PlayStation. And of course, as you guys know, Xbox idiot Phil Spencer recently said he would never rule out any game going to another platform. Why would he want to cover his ass with that? So again, it's just one of those things where you look at this kind of stuff and you're just kind of questioning Microsoft's thought process here. Halo, Gears of War, Forza, Fable, these games are games that literally define your platform, right? So you have these games that define your platform, and yet you continually, mess around with them and your legacy and things like that. This, like, putting Halo on PlayStation is the equivalent of putting Sonic on Nintendo, right? Like, it was all over, and that was the sign that you knew it was all over. To me, as an Xbox fan, it's all over when that happens, right? There is no, oh, well, it's good for gamers, it's good for this, it's good for that. Listen, I'm a Halo fan as much as the next guy, okay? Right? Halo was great, but putting Halo Combat Evolved on PlayStation, people think that's going to help some multiplayer push or whatever. It's not going to do that, right? So Halo Combat Evolved came out in 2001, right? That game plays old and it plays slow. There's a reason why people update games. Could you imagine if we still played Resident Evil using those tank controls? It would be terrible. Halo is kind of like that. Yeah, like the nostalgia of the campaigns are still fun to play, but I feel like that multiplayer that was so hot back then isn't going to appeal to people that are really enjoying stuff like, Fortnite. It's not going to appeal to the Apex crowd, the Fortnite crowd, the Warzone crowd. It's not going to appeal to those people. And so I think that's pretty much where I'm at with it. So it does suck that, they are considering, bringing these things elsewhere. But at the same time, it's like, you guys couldn't just let people focus on your console. Like, drop all this stuff. And the thing is, right, people go, oh, well, it's just fake. It's that Tom Warren guy. He said that Call of Duty wasn't going to go to Game Pass, blah, blah, blah. Like, listen, I'm not a big Tom Warren fan, but he didn't say that Call of Duty wasn't going to go to Game Pass. He said they had internal debates on it. They were struggling with whether they should do that or not, which makes sense. And given the fact that it took them half a year after they bought Activision to come out and confirm that it was going to Game Pass, I think it's a fair shake to say, hey, this game might not come to Game Pass, and they probably did weigh it. And he also was one of the ones that said, Pentiment and Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves were going to PlayStation, and that more were being considered. So again, it's easy to sit there and go, okay, well, this is this and this, and I'm sure that there's a chance that some games might not or whatever. But it's like having to sit there and worry nonstop, like, okay, well, is this game going to go? Is this game going to go? Is it worthwhile? Like, I think that's a really bad spot to be in, a really crummy spot for Microsoft to put fans, especially when they made so many promises in terms of what they were going to do with like exclusives and things like that. And I've mentioned this multiple times. I don't even think it needs to be mentioned again. I'm fine if they were just honest about it. Hey, okay, stuff that was there, Doom, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, whatever, that's gonna still be on PlayStation. Whatever, I'm fine with that. But let us know ahead of time, right? We shouldn't sit there and have to kind of wonder or whatever. And the funny thing is, Phil Spencer has said the same exact thing numerous times, right? He's mentioned this numerous times, that he doesn't want the fans to have to speculate or have to worry or do any of that stuff. And, again, just as a fan of Xbox, I'm just sitting there kind of going, oh, well, this doesn't really instill confidence in me as a gamer that you're going to have exclusives. And I think that, for the people that are out there going, well, the industry's changing. The industry's changing, right? Because I do see a lot of that where people say that to me. The only one where that is changing is on Xbox, right? Like, there's minor changes because everything does, but it's like Microsoft really got caught up trying to look, 10 years, 15, 20 years down the road, and I feel like that's a poor thing to do. You really need to kind of look at the 1 to 2 years. Yeah, you can start thinking about down the road, but don't implement those changes now. And I think Microsoft has always been a company that basically kind of caught themselves doing that, where they really hurt themselves by looking too far down the road and trying to implement that stuff. Like, the Xbox One stuff, for example, that stuff maybe wouldn't have been looked at as bad now as it was a decade ago. But again, thinking a decade ahead really hurt them and hurt the Xbox brand. So anyway, I'll link this in the description. You guys can check it out and let me know what you think. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys all have a good day. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.